We are a country of immigrants. We're also a country of laws. And the question is, how do we balance that appropriately? I am hopeful that we can solve this problem constructively. I think Joe is exactly right, that we want to have a situation in which those who are already here, are playing by the rules, are willing to pay a fine and go through a rigorous process, should have a pathway to legalization. And I think most Americans will support that if they have some sense that the border is also being secured. What they don't want is a situation in which there is a pathway to legalization and you've got another several hundred thousands of folks coming in every year. And that, I think, is a sensible position we should be able to arrive at.
Tom Homan showed up in Chicago and within 24 hours found a convicted sex offender who has been living in our city since 2009, flouting the sex offender registry. If he can do this, why can't you?
Because that's their job. That is their job. The federal government
job's not to keep
has
the
a
people of Chicago
responsibility
safe.
to make sure that individuals who are undocumented, who have been charged with, convicted of a crime, it is the federal government's responsibility to do their part and uphold the law. Our local police department, along with our public health department, along with our other sister agencies, are working to build a better, stronger, safer Chicago. And as we've stated repeatedly, those critical investments, you continue to see the results of those investments as violent crime continues to fall in Chicago.
Tom Homan.
Wow. Wow. A Democratic politician said it is not his job to make sure his people are safe from illegals. What? And these people here, they said we represent the American people. No, you don't. You only represent your party. Come on, Democrats. You got to stop this spiel, right? As you saw from the intro, you saw Obama, right? You saw Obama just lay out the case. And you guys, if you were watching my previous videos, you've seen that I reused the clip from a previous one, but I felt like it was necessary to show you the contrast of where the Democrat was in 2007 on the border versus where they at now, right? Turning a blind eye, looking this way, don't want to address the problems, putting their own constituency, putting the Chicagoans that put Brandon Johnson into power in the first place. They're the reason why Brandon Johnson is mayor of Chicago. And he believes it is not his responsibility to protect them from his, the outcomes of his policies, sanctuary city policies. He don't feel like it's his responsibility to even help out or aid. If you've seen some of the videos that I've been showing, Tom Homan's been complaining how sanctuary cities don't comply to their detainments. They say, ICE say, hey, we need this guy. He's an illegal. I see he committed crime in your district. Hold him in jail. They don't. They let him go, and he wanders right back into the community, as you heard in the intro. And this kind of insanity, I can't even imagine a 2000 Democrat, a Democrat in the year 2000 would sit there and allow criminals to just go back into the country when they're illegal, when they're a criminal illegal. This is ridiculous. But it's not as ridiculous if a lot of these Democrats going on and someone delusional actually thinks that Democrats have a big chance of a comeback. I don't think so. Here's this clip that I want to show you. This is a flashback clip because, you know, I love the flashback clips of Chicago residents warning Brandon Johnson, hey, we need Tom Homan. We need Donald Trump. This is why Chicago, the Democrats only won Chicago by 5%. Let's take a look.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. You spent over $574 million on illegal immigrants here in Chicago, Illinois since 2022. Now, you still feel like you have to harbor these illegals, which is not a good idea. And in my personal opinion, I don't think it's a good idea to challenge Tom Homan on this because he's trying to clean up our cities, Mr. Brandon Johnson. Now, let me just remind everybody here that Brandon Johnson is terrible with the budget. How is this $40 million credit line is going to work exactly? Because the key word is credit. So how much will we be using from this $40 million? And the real question is, how much will we be paying back? Now, you want to sit here, you and J.B. Pritzker want to puff out your chest and fight Tom Homan. We need Tom Homan here in Chicago. We need Donald Trump. And I don't want to see people like Pam Bundy and Cash Patel, you know, haul you up out of here and become prosecuted. I don't want to see that happen. But they will do their job if they have to, Brandon Johnson. Now, we are $1 billion in debt. That's absolutely insane. Kamala Harris, she spent $1 billion on her campaign less than a year, and she's $20 million in debt. So it's looking like Democrats are bad with money.
Yo, I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. I could have said it better myself. The streets are talking, as people in my community will say. Chaos on the border. Mexican cartels fire at the U.S. Border Patrol agents. Imagine, in my videos of the day, border crossings are not historical. They're down a lot, let's say. It used to be 1,000 per day. Now it's down to like 500 per day. Sometimes not even 200 a day of illegals crossing the border, crossing the southern border. And this is probably hurting the cartel's business. And now they're firing upon U.S. Border Patrol agents. And you wonder why Donald Trump wants to send the military over there. Let's read a little bit into the story. Chaos erupted along the U.S.-Mexican border on Monday when cartel members opened fire on U.S. Border Patrol agents. This incident came just 1 week after President Trump ramped up border security efforts, deploying the military and formally designating cartels as foreign national organizations. What a way to make Trump's points, cartel members, by firing at Border Patrol agents. And you have many people on the left think this was racist, calling for Donald Trump to call these Mexican cartels foreign terrorist organizations. Late Monday night, Texas Department of Public Safety Lieutenant Chris Alvarez, sorry guys. Earlier today, U.S. soldiers and Marines have deployed to the southern border to help protect our homeland security's national security. Promises made, promises kept. Breaking, U.S. Marines are now stationed at our border. They're helping Border Patrol in restoring American sovereignty. Promises made, promises kept. And this is all you're going to keep hearing, because I don't think anyone, this narrative, I keep bringing up these stories because the left, they chose immigration as the issue they want to outrage about. The issues where, oh, many Americans are going to regret this, as you saw in some of the reaction clips that I did about CNN and them debating the immigration issue. They keep trying to bring up this narrative that Americans are regretting how the deportations are happening. I don't see that. Tom Homan declares war on Mexican cartels after border agents fired upon. He's vowing to wipe them off the face of the earth. Hey, Tom Homan, he looked like those wardens, those prison wardens in those action movies. I'm just saying. Border czar Tom Homan has announced a major escalation of U.S. stance against the Mexican drug cartels, vowing to wipe them off the face of the planet, or the earth, sorry. This stern warning follows this dangerous confrontation on Monday where U.S. border agents engaged in a firefight with suspected cartel gunmen along the vicinity of the U.S.-Mexican border. Right? So here's some of the news story we're going to play here for you guys.
We have some breaking news right now in Fronton, Texas. Right now we have an active scene. Earlier today, suspected cartel members fired shots at Border Patrol agents here in Fronton, Texas. Agents did return fire, but no one was hit. The group of illegals that were attempting to cross did not make it to Texas soil. That's what the suspected cartel members were trying to do. As of right now, this is still an ongoing investigation, but you see active scene here.
These illegals are not doing anything. But this is the lengths they're willing to go to make it into your country. Like this is who Democrats are trying to defend. These are who Democrats saying, oh, we don't need to protect our constituency with allowing these people, making our cities sanctuary cities that's going to attract these people. Remember, they're like my last clip, my last video with Stephen Miller arguing with Jake Tapper. He pointed this out. They're not going to no rural areas. They're going to cities. They're going to cities. Look, they got the military squatted up at the border, right? So here I want to put in Tom Homan's 2 cents in this, and I'm going to show you how this is not a good look for Democrats who sit here and continue virtual signaling off of illegals. Y'all doing it too quick. And I have to agree with Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks, is you guys reacting like this right now, it's not a good look. Wait a little bit. Wait until we actually start deporting people who just broke the immigration laws. Then you might be able to react like this. But now, all we could think about is, damn, they're crying over criminal illegals. That's all I could think about, because these are the priority targets first. And they try to keep making this this narrative like, oh, half of these people, they didn't do anything other than break our border laws, by the way. But they didn't do anything. They were law-abiding citizens. No, you won't. You're not law-abiding if you came into this country illegally. And the perception of this administration, Trump's administration, is if you break border law, you're a criminal. It doesn't matter what the leftists think. The leftists ain't running the government right now. Donald Trump is running the government right now. And this is how Donald Trump is perceiving this. And it's reality. Because what's the violation? If it's a civil violation for breaking into the country, what's the punishment for that civil violation? Deportation. Return to your country. Hey, that don't sound half bad. When I make a civil violation like getting a parking ticket or a speeding ticket, I pay a fine. Maybe we should make illegal start paying fines when they break into our country illegally and then deport them. Maybe we should do that. But I digress. Let's see Tom Homan's reaction to the news about Mexican cartels attacking U.S. Border Patrol agents.
What do you know about the Border Patrol agents exchanging gunfire with Mexico drug cartels from earlier?
They have taken gunfire, and it's going to get worse, Sean, because President Trump's going to seal that border. He's going to put the cartels out of business. He declared them a terrorist organization. We got the whole of government is going to dismantle these people and wipe them off the face. And
the sanctuary cities, sorry, I keep interjecting. Is sanctuary cities helping the Mexican cartels or hurting the Mexican cartels? This is the kind of framework that I want more Americans. I think that's why I did this channel. I want more Americans to think like this. Let's think more practically. Let's think more logically. Let's think more systematically about what incentives do we want our government to have. Because end of the day, in my purview, the government is a referee. And we know, if you ever play sports, we know the referee creates incentives in the game. If I see the referee likes to call fouls, I'm going to put myself in situations where I'm going to get foul calls so I can get on the free throw line. This is how the game is played. Like, if you're really good at a sport, this is how the game is played. These are the tactics of a game. Oh, this ref, he's not calling any physical play. You incentivize players to be more physical on the court because this coach, he's swallowing his whistle. He don't call nothing. I just punched the guy. He didn't call it. So you incentivize players to be more physical. But if you have a referee where he'll blow the whistle if you even breathe too close to a player, then you incentivize less physical play, less physical defense, and it becomes a high-scoring game. This is how I see the government. So if the government's out here tolerating people coming to this country illegally, it benefits the Mexican cartels. You're creating sanctuary cities where, okay, the Mexican cartels are thinking, if I can just get them into Chicago, they can still make their money. You're incentivizing this stuff. But the Democrats don't see it because all the Democrats want to do is look good. That's it. That's the tagline brand that I'm casting on the Democratic Party. You just want to look good. And if you saw anything from the video of the black guy, my fellow Chicagoan, telling off Brandon Johnson saying, you guys are not good with money. You're putting us in debt. We're $1 billion in debt. You're paying $500 million to keep illegals in our city. Make it make sense. This is the Democratic Party for you in 2025. But they're delusional to think that 2026, we're going to make a comeback. If you keep this up, I don't see it.
Face of the earth. They're not going to go lightly. We're taking them out of the trafficking business. We're taking them out of the smuggling business. We're taking them out of the dope business. There's going to be more violence on the southwest border. That's why Trump committed to calling the terrorist organization. He has. That's why the entire United States government is going to take care of those people and abolish them. We're going to attack them not just in Mexico, but in the 42 countries that Jalisco cartel is currently residing in. The Trump administration is going to take them on just like he did the caliphate, and we're going to destroy them.
Imagine that.
What do you know about
Mexican cartels being treated like the caliphate? Oh, my God. And the fact that the Mexico president don't do anything about this, it gives me some pause. Like, damn, like, really? And this is something that I think Democrats, y'all don't have a good answer for this one. Because y'all had 4 years to prevent Tom Homan and Donald Trump from capitalizing on this issue, but you had other things. And this is my biggest argument, that y'all benefit from illegal immigration. This is why y'all let it happen until the point where Americans got so fed up with it. Then you pretend to do something towards the end. After you let in like 20 million people into the country already, you deport like 1.5 million, and you think you did something. No, Americans like, no, what about the rest you let in? No, all of them needs to go. This is why a lot of Americans support mass deportation. I'll play this one more clip and then I'll wrap up the video.
I want to go back to those military flights going south. As you said, we have never seen that before. Is that going to be a constant commitment from the U.S. military every single day to take deportees out?
Yes.
And imagine, this is the media asking these questions. This interview happened before the Mexican cartels opened fire on the border patrol agent. Don't Trump look really good right now, sending the military down to the southern border right now? Donald Trump looked prepared, like he was prepared for anything, like he knew this retaliation would happen. He designated them as a terrorist organization. But look at this lady. Look at this media hack here. You couldn't think like this is what I'm saying. The people who covering our news, who give us our news, sometimes I'm like, yeah, you partisan. You partisan as hell. You're biased as hell. How you have a problem with that? The president deem a group a terrorist organization. I won't send in the military to deal with terrorists. Like, what's going on with these people?
Is this what we will see every single day, ending in what the president has promised is millions and millions being deported?
Yes, but you're going to see the numbers steadily increase.
The estimates of perhaps those who have been convicted or arrested in the past, 700,000 to over 1 million. So after you do that, then you go after everybody who is there illegally.
If you're in the country illegally, you're on the table, because it's not okay to violate laws of this country. You got.
And this is another thing you got to remember too. If there's no incentive to break into the country illegally, Mexican cartels are finished. Like, that's how they make a lot of their money, trafficking people into the state, into this country. And if the country's like, nah, if we catch you, you're going back, people are gonna be like, damn, I don't want to pay this cartel all this money, fight the devastating track all the way to the U.S. border, make it into the U.S. after we somehow avoid ICE, after they close down the border, avoid the U.S. Marines and the military, finally get into this country. And then when I finally get into this country, 2 weeks later, I'm already getting sent back home to get deported. Or if I make it past those 2 weeks, I live every day in fear of me getting caught. It's hard for me to find work because a lot of these corporations don't want to get involved with an illegal with no papers. You create that kind of incentive structure. You see how I visualized it and how, damn, I don't want to do that. That's the point. That's the point of deporting these people, to send a message, to send a lesson. You're going to have to be the example, illegals currently in this country. Sorry, you should have done it the right way the first time. But I digress.
But remember, every time you enter this country illegally, you violated a crime under Title 8, United States Code 1325. It's a crime. So if you're in the country illegally, you got a problem. And that's why I'm hoping those who are in the country illegally, who have not been ordered removed by the federal judge, should leave.
Pretty much self-deportation. And I hope they crack that too. How many illegals self-deport? Oh, I'm going back. I ain't going to stay in this country living in fear of Tom Homan showing up at my front door with Dr. Phil recording me getting deported. Oh, hell no. You get the point. But, I digress. I'd like to hear your commentary in the comment section below. Are you surprised how much of a shift Democrats went from 2007 to now? How a lot of Democrat governors seem to be bad with governance, and it seemed like they only want to maintain appearances and not actually do something in the benefit of the constituency? This is what I highlighted between the clips of Obama and Brandon Johnson. I digress, though. I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Share the video if you feel so inclined, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.